Hello everyone, how you all doing? I hope you all are doing great so far. It's been a while since, about an hour and such, or maybe even a bit longer, don't really know. I've spent some time, doing research about a certain package or API that I could use. And after doing quite a bit of research, I came across a really neat piece of software, which was, let me find it. If you click Manage NuGet Packages inside of Visual Studio, I installed aforge, and aforge is a library for .NET, for the .NET framework that lets you interface with video devices. So I used that to interface with my webcam, and the way I did that was if we go into, oops, did not mean to do that, if we go into my form1.cs file, which is the code for the program I'm about to show you. Actually, before I talk about the code, let me show you how it looks like. So you go into the file where it is. It has all these DLL files for aforge, and once you double click this, it's going to run, and there you go. There you can see there's my face. You have the ability to choose what you want to see. It has a set resolution, and it's a bit out of sync. That's because I need to still figure out how to set the frame rate accordingly. It's still out of sync, so that's something I need to work on. But so far, this is what I was able to get. It's better than nothing. It's still a fair bit slow, but that might just be because of me processing the image down here to a certain resolution. As you can see, I have set it so it's always on top. So I can just move myself over here down into the corner, and it also has a about button, but it shows only a few things here. Then there's the exit button, which you have to use in order to exit the app. But basically, this is like all the code in here. So what I have here is, I'm setting some variables for setting filters and such, and which gets the information about all the filters from the camera itself. So all the settings made by the manufacturer of that camera over there are the ones responsible for this. And I set the desired frame rate to 30, even though I can set it to 60 if I wanted to, but it's up to me if I want to set it up like that or not. Basically what I'm doing here is once it loads, what did I do? Okay, there we go. So once it loads, it's going to, let me just save it just in case. So once it loads, it's going to check for every single video input device, and it's going to add it as a device into the list box right here. It's going to check for each and every device that's in that list, like every single device that's plugged into your computer, and it's going to put it all inside of this list. And what it's going to do, it's going to select automatically the device with the index 0, so the very first device in the list, which happens to be my webcam, so that's loaded first. And then what it's going to do, it's going to take all the information about the filters and such inside of that camera from the combo box selected item, which is this. It's going to set it as a monkey string. Basically, it's going to set it as the video capture device. It's going to take all the information it needs about the camera and set it as our video capture device. And then we're going to take each and every frame, and we're going to set it as the final frame. And what the final frame does is a function here that will resize it using a filter to 328 by 275 pixels, which happens to be the size of the picture box right here, and which is actually over here. So that's the picture box. It's going to take the size of the picture box. My face is in the way, but basically to show you, it's the size of the picture box, so that's what it's using. There we go, we've set it back, and let's go back. So it's going to set the resolution, it's going to apply the filter as a new bitmap image, and it's going to take the frame and apply it to the frame itself. And then we're going to load the new image as the image for the picture box 1, which is this entity or element inside of Windows Forms. And we're going to do that. Now the frame rate isn't perfect. I set it to 30 when I could set it to 60. Now this doesn't do much. Normally it would be really slow, like really extremely slow. It would be unusable. Like this, it's somewhat usable, I guess, but it's not perfect. There's still a lot of delay that I need to fix. So what else do we have here? Here we have the button 1, which is the about button. As you can see, it's just a simple message box that will be improved upon later. And then we have this video capture device button. This button is the exit button. Once I click it, it will stop every single service that uses my webcam, and it will basically kill the device. Now it's not that it will like totally disable it, will just turn it off and then turn it on again whenever it's needed to be used in a different piece of software, and then it's going to exit the application. So if I click the exit button, it's going to kill the webcam, and it's not gonna interrupt any recordings whatsoever, because we're still recording to our files right here at 30 FPS. So basically, to show to you that it is my software, I'm just gonna click start over here. It's going to start the build, and it's going to start up with the piece of software in there. I'm going to show up even taskbar just in case. And there we go. Now it's not the most, it's not the best thing in the world. Like, it is running. It's not running perfectly, but it is running, and it's my own piece of software. I can move it wherever I need to, where I need to have it. It still takes a lot of time to get it running in a decent frame rate. There's still some bugs I need to work around, because after some time it's going to just bug out, don't know why, so that's something I need to fix. But in terms of resource use, it's using around 175 megs, which, okay, it went down now a bit, but the average RAM usage is around 75 megs. So it really depends on what it's going to do to your computer. It's not accessing the drive at all. But it's using a fair bit of CPU power, so I need to fix that, because you can see it's one of the most stressful processes here. So it's not ideal, because I'm using my CPU to process each and every frame. So it's not perfect. I still need to figure this out. It will take a lot of time, so there won't be a video about, well, there might be, because I may record it, but it's really dependent on my CPU. So if you happen to have a low-end CPU, it's not gonna run fast for you at all, because I'm using my CPU to process each and every frame. Now I could set it so it can use multiple cores. For example, you can go to details of the app, and there it is, easycam.exe, and we can go to set affinity, and it uses all 4 cores. I could set it to use just 1 core, so let's do that and see what will happen. And yeah, after setting it to just 1 CPU core, oh yeah, sure. So after setting to 1 CPU core, it did not help, and it did not help as much. It's still using a fair bit, so it was single threaded or long. So I would like to spread it out so it can be multi-threaded. It will take some time for me to figure this out, because I've never done anything like this. But then again, it's a bit of progress. It's my own piece of software, and it works just fine for me. And then you'll see that the CPU usage is going to go down by a fair bit. So most of it was taken up by the piece of software that I created right now. It's mostly CPU driven, so it doesn't use any GPU acceleration whatsoever. So that's something I need to work out. But as a proof of concept, it's good enough, I think. So yeah, with that, I want to thank all of you for joining me today. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I hope to see all of you beautiful people next time.